The embassy in Washington, 11 consulates, and a wave of MPs fanning across the United States. Their target audience is the 300,000 people living in the U.S. under temporary protected status that shields them from deportation. Now, the key word here is temporary. Most are from Latin America and Haiti, and depending on the country, that protection is set to expire in weeks or months, and the fear is they could flee Trump's America for Trudeau's Canada. It's all an attempt to avoid another surge like we saw this summer in Quebec. That wave was mostly Haitians, many of them drawn by false information spread on social media telling them that Canada would accept them with open arms. Since then, the government has sharpened its messages, putting out blunt messages in multiple languages.
The United States
to dispel that false hope, an effort to counter bad information that continues and evolves.
Our consulates have had instances where they've seen, by monitoring community media down there, they've seen misinformation in some community media outlets, and they've actually proactively reached out to the editors and the reporters and said, this is actually not true.
So, you know, they're in the age of Donald Trump, perhaps ironically, that one of the problems they're dealing with is fake news. And Adrian, the immigration minister, told us about a Spanish-language newspaper that was reporting that people with temporary protected status in the U.S., they would be granted asylum status if they came to Canada, which simply isn't true. So they had to dispatch a diplomat to speak with that newspaper, get a correction and get a follow-up story and drive home their key point that just coming to Canada isn't a free ticket to staying in Canada.
I guess, David, the bottom line is do you think all this hard work, this strategy is actually going to work?
Well, you know, they sure hope so, and they've had some success with a similar strategy in slowing down the waves of migrants at Roxham Road in Quebec. They've been putting up signs with blunt messages, being more active on social media, and reaching out to the Haitian community on the Roxham Road issue. And give you a sense of the impact. At its peak, 250 people a day coming across from New York to Quebec. That's now down to 50 or 60 people a day. At its peak, 2 in 3 were Haitians. Now it's 1 in 5 are Haitians, so it's slowed, but it hasn't stopped, and they don't expect it to stop through the winter. They set up a tent city to deal with that wave of migrants over the summer. Now they're bringing in heated trailers because as the weather turns cold, a tent is not going to cut it because the people are going to keep coming.
Okay, David, thank you. We'll see what happens. The number of asylum seekers wanting to call Canada home has soared this year. More than 15,000 people crossed into this country illegally so far in 2017. All of last year, there were fewer than 2,500.